Welcome to the Sydney Masters Premier League Grand Final between the Barbarians and Briars. The Barbarians have gone through this season. They have actually lost 2 games this year, or 3 games this year. And Briars beat UTS last week in their preliminary final, and the Barbarians beat Ride in theirs to go through. Well, actually, I think they beat Briars in their semi-final to go through. We'll move on to the team lists. Both of these teams have got a wealth of experience in their midfield and across the park, really. So for the Barbarians in goals, they've got Steve Ford. The captain is Cody Tribe, Lee Cormack, Darren French, Harvey Singh, Mitchell Scott, Tesh Kanogia, Richard Satchwell, Steve Tuddenham, Stuart Fletcher, Alan Jamba, Brett Giffen, Craig Campbell, Dougal Alexander, Gary Labiner and Matthew Kay. I've been advised that Steve Tuddenham is a late withdrawal with injury tonight, so he won't be taking part. For Briars, in goals is Andrew Borg, Alan Charlton, Blake Durrance, Adam Bannister, Matthew Floyd, Chris Mosley, Scott Dixon, Scott Commons, Lee Brady, Darren Alsop, Shane Burke, Stuart Turnbull, Dale Patterson and Tony Strajewski. Now, both of these sides have got a wealth of current and ex-first grade Premier League 1 hockey players in their team. Particularly the Barbarians, a number of them were actually playing PL1 semi-finals a couple of weeks ago for Norwest Strikers. There's a good core of players from the Norwest Strikers in this team, as Dave Campbell sitting next to me would be well aware. I'm sure he could expand on a little more if he could.
Yeah, well, there's actually 9 of the Barbarians that have played PL this year. I think there's only 2 that have played PL1. The balance are playing PL2. So yeah, and a lot of those guys that are playing PL2 are actually former first graders. So yeah, a lot of talent there. The Briars team has got a few too. Al Charlton, Andrew Borg has been the goals. He's been playing absolutely out of his skin this year. So you know, it should be a fairly high-class game. There's a lot of talent. Legs are a little bit slower these days than they used to be on some of them, but they've still got the head to play good hockey.
Yeah, Adam Bannister for Briars also has played first grade for them this year. Yep. And some of their other players have also played first grade very recently, such as Lee Brady, amongst others.
Yeah, I think, David, there's 15 out of this team that have played for New South Wales and Masters hockey.
Right.
Out of these 2 teams, and quite a few of those also played for Australia in Masters. So it's great to see these young blokes, you know, getting into the Masters. How many years they can play it for, we don't know, but they're enjoying it at the moment.
Yeah, they're right. There's definitely some talent in both of these teams. A number of former AHL players: Cody Tribe, Lee Cormack, Al Charlton. I'm sure I've probably missed 1 or 2.
I'm just waiting for a few more of the Barbarians to come out. I hope they're here, David. We're only seeing about 9 or 10 warming up.
It does look a little sparse down there.
I think the game will be played and dominated in the midfield. Some excellent players there, and you know, that's where I think it'll be won and lost. The Barbarians should win it based on the form this year. As you say, they lost 3 games, and I think they scored over 70 goals in 15 games. So they're finding the net okay, but as we all know, when it gets down to the final game, 2 teams, strange things can happen on the day.
That's true. And the games they did lose were when they were probably short 1 or 2 players. So hopefully for them they have a full complement tonight and can put on a good performance.
I can't see Stuart Fletcher there tonight so far, and Lee Cormack seems to be missing as well. So don't know what's happened there. We've only been told that Steve Tubman was out, so it'll be interesting if they've only got the bare essential players out there.
I haven't sighted Matthew Kay yet either, down there. But you're right. If the Barbarians play to their potential, you know they've got guys still. They've got a number of guys still playing PL1 in top teams in Sydney. You know they're still very fit, very skilled, and they're very difficult to defend at this level.
Well, the rain stayed away anyway, David, so that's one bonus. It's a beautiful night, a little chilly, but quite a nice night for playing hockey.
It will be it's an interesting style of play here. Briars definitely rely on getting the ball to their dangerous striker Lee Cormack. Cormack up front. He's a very skillful, tricky, quick player. Can score a goal. Whereas I think Barbarians will be looking to dominate through the midfield with Cody Tribe amongst others.
Just got a message that Stu Fletcher's out with a niggle, and Lee Cormack is actually out as well. So they've got three of their key players out, so this should even the game up dramatically. Nice of Stu to send me a text through. Obviously listening to this stream with great interest. I think Stu's probably not too serious, but he's got a grand final in Newcastle this coming weekend. We'll have a go at him later on about where his priorities lie.
I haven't been following the Newcastle comp too closely. Do you know who's playing up there, David?
I think Gosford are playing North, so I'm not 100% sure, and I apologise to anyone. If they want to text through, I'll rectify that.
And Stu Fletcher playing for North. So
No.
he plays for Gosford, does he?
Yeah.
Okay. Back to his roots.
Yep.
So you can see straight away Briars looking for their danger man up front, Lee Brady.
Yes, I've just had confirmed it's definitely Gosford and North in the Newcastle final this weekend. Stewie tells me there'll be a gigantic crowd there.
No doubt. Both teams just feeling each other out a little. Barbarians not too keen to put too much pressure on the defenders yet. Happy to sit back. Nice cut out there from Mitchell Scott.
Aljamba with the ball now. Al's just come back from the World Cup in Nottingham, where he played for Australia. And Al tells me it was an excellent tournament. They were unlucky. They got to the shootouts in the final and just lost to England. So he's had a great build up to this final. He should be very fit. That's Al's the number 3 for the Barbarians.
Yeah, it's fantastic that at the advancing years that you can continue to play at a very high level and chase some further representative honours.
Penalty corner there. It looks like it hurt quite a bit. So the first opportunity to score here for the Barbarians.
Yeah, and I'd probably expect to see probably a drag flick here from Cody Tribe. Tends to shoot low into the corners. And Cody's managed to keep himself very, very fit. Personal trainer by profession.
Should we put a plug in? I think he calls it tribal.
Tribal fitness.
Another corner there.
The post, he actually got stick on that.
Yeah, Andrew Borg, I think he's playing as good a hockey now in the goals as he has in his whole career. And I know he's in his 40s now, but he's playing excellent, excellent hockey.
Yeah, he was actually late to goalkeeping. He didn't take it up until he was well into his 20s. I think he'd actually played first grade on the field for Briars before he was making the decision to put the pads on. Good move there from the Barbarians.
Another penalty corner there. So the Barbarians putting a lot of pressure on Briars at the moment.
Well, Charlton managed to make a good stop with his stick, but unable to keep it off his feet. Al, one of the tougher players to get around one-on-one. A very good defensive player. Don't expect to see much different on this one. Cody tried to flick again.
Another foot, so another corner. I think the Barbarians should look at an option here. There seems to be a little opening to the left of the setup, but I'm sure they'll have read that.
Cody be disappointed with David Coles there for not allowing him to play on and have a clear shot at goal there. But he'll get another chance here.
And there it is.
That's clinical.
Beautiful. Nice touch in from Darren French.
Bit of a variation on the deflection.
Yes, if Fletcher's sitting home sending text messages, he'll claim that he taught him everything he knows.
Well, probably not unexpected. The Barbarians are up 1-0. Let's see if Briars can get a hold of the ball. They really haven't had much of it yet. Haven't had a chance to get their midfielders involved. The likes of Blake Durrance and Adam Bannister.
Nice touch there from Brett Griffin. by the Barbarians from the back here. Very, very important. They control the tempo from back here. Gives the options in the midfield. If they can control it back there, I think they'll score a number of goals here, because the Briars team seem to be more intent on just holding back at the moment.
Yeah, Briars do look like they're happy to just sit back, so I'm sure the Barbarians will be trying to draw them out a little and play it around the back, open up some space for their midfielders to work in. Oh,
Nice
and Alan Charlton doing what he's so good at and picking up nearly picking up one of his high strikers with a very accurate pass from the back.
It's one of Alan Charlton's hallmarks through his career. He's actually got a very, very good overhead as well, so we might see that come into play.
He does. He's a really great passer of the ball, a very clean hitter of the ball, not just in general play, but hitting penalty corners as well. And umpire Robbie Sutton's put down a penalty corner.
It's a little bit ugly.
Setting his standards early.
Gives a chance here for old Charlton to show us what he's got in the arsenal.
Two options at the top here, Adam Bannister flicking and Al Charlton to hit. Neither are likely to go high. I would expect both of them to be shooting low here. Ooh, a good save from the keeper.
Nice deflection, yes. Alan's such a sweet hitter of the ball. It's lovely to see him still enjoying his hockey.
It's almost a lost skill, that one, what he just did. And he had the dip on that to actually get it up and over the keeper's pads to drop down to hit the backboard. We don't see too much of it nowadays with the drag flickers dominating, but it really is a well-practiced skill, and I'm sure he's been developing that since he was a very young kid. Good tackle there and turnover there from...
Hello.
Off the foot. Nice ball movement.
Yeah, look, I think that's going to be key for today, is how much Cody Tribe can get himself on the ball. I'm sure Briars will be trying to keep him off.
Just couldn't get a touch.
You can hear the presentations for the second division in the background. Macquarie Uni getting up in the penalty shootout over Manly GNS. Exciting game for them and us as well.
I think in the other game on the second field, the Masters division, it was a shootout. I think Sutherland got up there over Ryde. about halfway through the first half now, and the game tempo has slowed down a bit, David. It's not as intense as when it started out, so maybe the boys are saving themselves, right? Those old legs.
Well, I think that'll actually suit Briars.
Yeah.
They'd be much preferring this game to be played at a slower pace. Not allow the Barbarians midfield to dominate. Craig Campbell, trap and turn. And Tesh spraying one high, wide and handsome. But that's the way they can play. They're a very attacking side. They've got some dangerous players across the park. They can get back to front very quickly.
We haven't seen the Barbarians forwards get a lot of clean ball yet, so got some very good players there. Brett Griffin is capable of scoring. As we saw, Darren got a lovely touch. Darren French got a lovely touch to score that first goal. And, it looks like Craig Campbell's playing sort of a defensive role at the moment. He's normally up front. Nice skills from Adam Bannister.
Yeah, and just Briars getting a hold of the ball here. Some sustained possession, which they'll need if they... Oh. And Briars do have some threats up front. They've got guys like Darren Allsop, who's very quick. Lee Brady, who's skillful and quick as well, and great in front of goal. Can score. Great shot on goal off either foot, either side of his body, I should say. So the Barbarians' defence, they're going to have to be on their game to be awake to those guys.
After building up the defence of the Barbarians, there's 2 or 3 mistakes in the last few minutes. They'll be costly if they keep doing it.
The Barbarians are just sitting one of their strikers very high at the moment. Serves 2 purposes. Not only does it stretch the Briars' defence, it gives them the high option, I should say. It stretches the Briars' defence and gives the Barbarians midfield a bit more space to work in. Because I'm sure that Briars don't want to be giving guys like Cody Tribe, Craig Campbell time on the ball. They will get their head up, find passes, and they've got the ability in this team to pile on goals very quickly.
Well, Briars have worked their way back into this game, and they're playing very good hockey at the moment. The Barbarians have just got to withstand it for a bit longer if they want to stay ahead here.
Well cleared from Gary Labler on his reverse.
A little bit of danger here. Brett Griffin at the ball if he lays it off. Yes, well done.
Oh.
And a terrible, terrible pass, I'm sorry. Very, very good opportunity gone south just there.
I'm sure he kicked out of the Strikers Association, passing up open shot and goal like that. Anyway, I'm sure Tesh will have other opportunities in this game. Let's see, Lee Brady trying to work his magic there. 1 on 3 though, the odds are against him.
bit untidy there from the defence, the Barbarians, and they've got to be careful. I'll give away another corner, and just need to settle down here and withstand what Briars are throwing at them. But on the other hand, Briars are finally getting a little bit of ball and showing what they can do.
It was good to see Scott Commons out in the field just then. A long break from the game. And the brother of former Kookaburra and Hockey Roos coach Adam Commons.
Cody Tribe's getting a bit carried away. I don't think, David, having a run.
Not sure that was a dummy.
No. I think very, very lucky there to get that decision. And his coach on the sideline might give a shorter rope.
Shane Burke having a few words too. There's certainly no shortage of effort and intent when these guys go up against each other. There's no quarter given on the field. It's still as competitive as ever.
Nice ball, Alan Jamba.
Nice trap there from Stu Turnbull, turning away. That we'll have more work to do here.
Just a little over 9 minutes to go here. 1-0 to the Barbarians over Briars. Nice ball.
That's what Briars need to do. They need to get guys like Adam Bannister and Blake Durrance on the ball. They're good passes of the ball, able to find their strikers high and wide. It's going to be hard going through the midfield against these guys, so against the Barbarians. So they probably need to go down the flanks, get around.
At the moment, both teams are guilty of just flittering away good opportunities when in attack. And I think if they can just get that under control, we'll see a few more goals here. Darren French just couldn't get control of that overhead.
Well read from Craig Campbell there.
Good defence. The intention was to get it to Darren French, that missed by a country yard.
You can probably remind him of that later, David.
I don't think I need to. His mates will do that.
Briars getting another go at that one. But that's what I'd like to see from Briars. They really do need, you know, their stronger midfielders like Adam Bannister on the ball. Oh, there it is.
Looked like it came off a foot
It
there.
did look like a foot to me.
It did.
No harm done. return there from late Briars.
Briars is sustaining a good attack here.
Oof. Yeah, they're just getting to hold the ball here for apply a bit more sustained pressure.
Excellent defence. Little opportunity here if Cody can find a pass midfield. Great lead by Griffin and well delivered by Cody Trobe.
Space on the other side of the field here, which Cody Trobe finds. Harvey Singh.
Attempted deflection from Beck Griffin, but unfortunately went to the Briars defender. Oh,
I could get away with that one, Lee Brady.
Yes, could have been a green card that easily.
Good pressure there from Scott Dixon, forcing the Barbarians to go backwards again. Oh, disappointed with that.
Yes, an opportunity there for Briars to either get a corner or a shot. Just couldn't keep the ball under control.
Yeah, and look, he's so dangerous up front, Lee Brady. He gets himself in dangerous positions. He makes traps. He's skillful. He can get away from players, and he's got a great shot on goal.
Just over 3 minutes now to go in this half, and it's a bit of a scrappy game, but both teams have got an opportunity to take some ascendancy. The Barbarians, if they can score a game before half time, it'll be great for them, and if Briars can manage to get a goal in, I think they'll be very happy going in 1-1.
Yeah, look, I think as long as Briars can stay within touching distance, and at 1 goal down, they'd probably be happy. They only have to score a goal to be right back in this game. And the longer it stays at 1-0, the more they'll actually have a belief that they can actually get away with a win here. I believe they have actually beaten them during the season, the Barbarians, so they know it can be done.
I think it just needs a little bit more patience by both teams when they get up in that attacking 23. At the moment, they're pushing that last pass, and rather than the patience and maybe working it square or even back and around, they're trying to push the pass. And I think both of them will benefit from being a bit more patient.
That's very true. Both teams defend very well through their midfield. It's hard going to carry through some of these players who are very strong tacklers. Fit, will run with the players as well. Hard to just run past.
Briars coming out of defence, just over a minute and a half to go, and there's an opportunity here for them to build up into something.
Scott Dixon's seen a lot more of the ball recently and had a chance to show what he's got. He's a good ball carrier himself. Unfortunately, just coming off the foot.
Well jammed with the ball, well done. Not much on up here. Again, trying to push a pass that really wasn't on.
Well, Charlton reads the game so well, just stepped in front there. The Barbarians don't look in a hurry to take this free hit, and that will probably see us off to half time.
Both teams have had enough. They're walking off, David.
Yeah, I think that half pretty much went as we would have expected. Both teams trying to get the players and get the ball to their midfield to try and get some dominance. Briars didn't get a lot of it in the first half of that half, but as that game wore on, Scott Dixon, Adam Bannister, Blake Durant saw a lot more of the ball, and they started to control a little bit more, get some sustained possession, which I'm sure is what they're after and what they need. And again, the Barbarians, they look dangerous going forward. They've got some fit, skillful, strong players in the midfield and some dangerous players up front. So look forward to more of it in the second half.
Yeah, I think the Barbarians lost a lot of impetus out of the middle with Stu Fletcher not able to play today. Stewie's, a long time first grade player, and he recently has just gone back to seconds to help play with and work with those guys. But Stu is brilliant in controlling the ball. Lee Cormack still playing PL1. He didn't get to the game today, and Steve Tubman who's injured. So three key players missing, and I think they're finding that's just upset the balance of that team, certainly in the midfield. So look, they're still in the game, but Briars are playing a lot better in the second half of that half, and I think it's going to be a pretty exciting second half.
And welcome back for the second half. We've got the Barbarians leading Briars 1-0 in the grand final of this Sydney Masters Hockey Premier League game. And yeah, so far it's been an exciting game, some good skills on display. It's gone pretty much as expected, but as David said in the break to me off air, the Barbarians look like they are just missing a couple of their key players. Stu Fletcher's not here, Lee Cormack's not here. And while he does play at the back, he gives them plenty of thrust going forward, both with his passing and carrying it as well. He's still very fit.
Well, that was an interesting move, something different.
It can happen when the opposition is giving you the ball from the hit-off. They're not always the most accurate with their passes. Two players together there. That ball's always going to go to the defence. Cody Tribe actually looks like he's playing at the back now, David.
Yes, they've definitely brought that shorter rope out.
I think it'll be difficult to stop him going forward.
Adam Bannister's actually been quite dominant in this game. He's probably the best player on the field at the moment.
Well, I did actually see him on the field in PL1 this year, and that's in 2022. And I was actually showing a video of the I think it was the Ride Glebe Grand Final back in '96, because one of my former teammates was playing for Glebe, and Adam Bannister was playing as I think a young 17 or 18-year-old in that game. So that's 26 years ago.
You're making him sound old.
He may have been 20. And there it is.
Oh, there it is. Nice tomahawk.
You can't give him space. He's a very good striker, Lee Brady, and give him time to shoot, he can hurt you. Anyway, the game on.
And as we said at half-time, the Briars team has actually really worked their way into this game, and unfortunately for the Barbarians, they need to get control of the ball and play structured hockey, because if they keep playing the way they're going, I can see Briars getting over the top of them. So it's a funny old game, hockey, but momentum's a big thing, and you can change momentum simply by keeping control of the ball. I know it sounds simple, but players just tend to want to make the impossible pass when sometimes there's something that's so easy on.
I always say it's a simple game, messed up by simple men. There we go, opportunity, yes. Oh. Chance for Dougal Alexander there. Unfortunately, got whacked on the hand for his troubles.
Yes, Dougal's a long way upfield for a guy that normally plays in defence.
I think some of these players take the opportunity that when they go into the Masters to actually become forwards.
Living the dream.
And when you've been locked away down the back all your career, why wouldn't you? Frustrated forwards, a lot of us.
Again, the Barbarians there just didn't make good options and just got a bit more patience. I know I've laboured on that, but at the moment that's the one thing that seems missing in this game.
See what Barbarians can muster here. Dougal Alexander getting a green card for his tackle earlier in the Briars attack.
Yes, he realised he'd made a mistake, put his hand up early on the piece, that didn't save him.
Robbie Sutton got his number. And a very uncharacteristic error from Alan Charlton. He's normally dead-eyed Dick with his trapping.
So an opportunity here for the Barbarians. They haven't got a lot in their battery with the guys like Fletcher and Cormac out, but let's see what Cody does here. Brady with the ball here, opportunity, and a corner.
Yep.
Well played.
With the, fortunately for the Barbarians, with the clock not stopping for penalty corners, Dougal Alexander's suspension will actually expire very quickly without him actually missing too much playing time.
A very good opportunity here for the Briars team to go 2-1 up. Penalty stroke given. Must have been a foot in that.
Barbarians players protesting that they were perhaps outside the post. Hard to see from our position, but there is an umpire up the other end who stands there specifically to give instruction to his co-umpire. So, and I don't think they're going to change their mind.
Normally you'd back Adam to put this away. He's quite clinical in these sorts of situations.
He's a cool head, yes.
And one would say it wasn't the greatest penalty stroke, but it made a noise when it hit the back.
And he'll claim it just the same.
Yep.
And it's all to do here for the Barbarians. But the danger here is that the Barbarians just become less patient as they go looking for this goal. Try and play a bit too direct.
Good defence, Alan Charlton. Well read. dare say this will bring a bit more intensity in the game, David. You know, Barbarians have got to step up now. Long way to go, still 22 minutes to go, but they need to step up from where they've been playing.
Yeah,
Nice
I think we might see a little bit more pressure.
Again, another turnover, which you know, is quite disappointing when they've got good opportunity, good field position, and we're just turning the ball over the Barbarians at the moment.
It'll be interesting to see just how the legs are on the Barbarians here. They don't have the bench that they perhaps were expecting coming into this game. Whether they can continue to apply pressure to Briars when they've got the ball coming out of defence.
I don't know what they were arguing for me. It'll be interesting to see what the replay says. They were arguing. I couldn't tell. It was a very clear, very quick call. Interesting to see what the replay showed. They would have replayed it.
So Briars have really sagged back here, defending with all 11. I'll probably feel it if... Oh.
Nice deflection, just wide of the right post.
It's a long way to go here, and I don't think they'll be able to just sit back and defend for the remaining 20 minutes.
No, it's very dangerous from this far out.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to score another goal to win this game, because the Barbarians have definitely got at least one more in them. Yeah, great little turn there.
Down to Harvey Singh. And a deflection from Briars.
Yeah, Al Charlton with a well-timed stick in there.
Almost intercepted by down French, but unfortunately overside on Briars' push. Well, gee, I've gone back a lot of years there, David. The push.
At least you didn't say roll in. There have been a lot of changes to the rules over the years. You know, that we've seen some really game-changing rule changes in the last 25 years. Offside has disappeared, and I think the other really big one is the ability to actually take the self-pass from free hits. It's actually sped up the game immensely, made it a lot more attractive to watch, in my opinion. But just the change in skills, the slap hit, the ability to hit it very accurately to players a long way away.
Nice
consistently.
Sorry, nice intercept, Adam Bannister.
You probably see these players actually hitting upright more than you do at the first grade level, where generally they push the ball, occasionally slap hit. But very rarely do they hit upright. And here's a chance here for Darren. There's a very quick, athletic ball carrier. Oh, it's a great tackle there for Mitchell Scott. Oh.
Terrible ball. And as I said earlier, just pushing it when it's not needed, and unfortunately, it needs to come under control so that they can start to put some pressure on this Briars defence.
Yeah, and as this game wears on, the scoreboard pressure will actually show on the Barbarians, and it will cause them to lose a bit of patience like that at times.
Beautiful ball, beautiful ball.
Oh, great tackle. Really good patience defence there. That's such skillful play.
Yeah, well kept by Steve Ford there.
I think Cody Tribe really just showed the quality there. He was having to chase back, timed that tackle perfectly, waited for the opportunity to just get the stick in, and came away with it. That's probably right. Probably looked worse than it was.
Yes.
Well watched by Borgie.
Again, Adam Bannister, very, very good defence.
Generously given a free hit there by Robbie Sutton. See overhead to the right hand side here.
That'll be a
Still should be a Briars ball off the foot of the Barbarian.
Probably the first mistake Adams made tonight, and we'll forgive him this time.
Well, there's a chance. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Good opportunity for Brett Giffen, just couldn't get it in.
Yeah, he did well to create the space there. Rolled his defender, got himself back on the four-stick. Got himself in a good opportunity to shoot. Fortunately, just missed the target.
Well stolen by Cody Tribe.
Good save.
Great save by Andrew Bird.
That was a classy save, and it's the sort of play that really pumps your teammates up. So when you're trying to stay in a game, well, stay ahead in the game, having your goalkeeper make saves like that for you, it's fantastic to have something like that in the net.
Unforced error there from the Barbarians.
Let's see if the Barbarians are trying to press high here. Leaving pass there from Al Charlton. The pace has gone out of this game, David. It has definitely slowed down in the last 5 minutes.
There was a little spurt when Briars scored that second goal, Barbarians lifted, but to be honest now, you're absolutely right. It looks like also Cody Tribe and Alan Bannister are playing on each other now, so they're sort of cancelling each other out.
Interesting to see if the Barbarians try and adjust, try and get Cody Tribe free a little more, because they really do need him on the ball. But they do have other ball players. Dougal Alexander has actually been quite influential in the earlier part of this half. Alan Jamber as well, skillful player, very controlled.
I think too, David, the short bench that the Barbarians have got will come into play as this game goes on. And
yeah, absolutely right. I think you're already seeing the effect of that as the pace has really gone out of this game. I'm sure the Barbarians would love to play a bit quicker and try and force the issue here. Well defended there from Blake. Definitely up off his stick into his own body.
one of the Briars players have gone down there off the ball. I can't make out who it is.
It looks like it's definitely Lee Brady. That won't be welcome. If it's just a little knock and he'll be back.
Looks to be holding his stomach, or is it his arm that he's... No, it's
somewhere in the groin area or lower abdomen. Well, from the looks of that, if Briars are going to hold on here, they're going to have to do it without Lee Brady. I'll be surprised to see him back.
again out of Bannister. He's covering a lot of ground.
Yeah, he's been dominant in defence and in with the ball for Briars here.
A lot of these players will be up on the Gold Coast for the National Masters Championship. I think starts on the 22nd or thereabouts, and 23rd. So I'll still be fairly fit for a lot of these guys. You don't want it like Lee Brady, or hopefully it's not a major injury, because he's going to struggle to be fit for the Gold Coast.
Good tackle. Strong run there from Darren Alsop.
Oh! Alan Jambo, right across the face.
And Darren French was there on the post, just could not quite get his stick on that. That was a golden opportunity. A good play there from Craig Campbell, a strong run through the midfield. Bit of a ball into the mixer, and unfortunately just not ending up in the net. Sorry, Tesh, if he hits you below the knee. Most umpires will play on.
I think Tesh was trying to sell that one, David.
Had a bit of a positional switch here. We've Scott Dixon actually playing at centre forward, out of the midfield, push forward, and Darren Alsop pushed back into the midfield for Briars, with Lee Brady off the field.
missing with the ball. Cody Tribe. And again, well defended Briars. Here's an opportunity, 3-on-1.
Oh.
Poor result actually for the numbers they had.
No, I think if he'd connected with his original backstick pass.
Very careful with the ball, lays it off to Dougal Alexander.
Here's trouble. Oh. Quite sure what that free hit was for. Maybe the ball was missing the goal.
Not sure what the timeout's for either, David.
Briars player leaving the field on the other side.
I think they decided the ball that was on there wasn't any good.
Quality control issue.
7 minutes to go in this game, and at the moment it looks like Briars have got it in the keeping, but as we always say, there's a long way to go. Unfortunately, I can't see unless the Barbarians get control of this ball, they're going to struggle.
And like you said, they, as you mentioned earlier, Cody Tribe trying to inject himself into the game, but shadowed by Adam Bannister, trying to keep him quiet. They're aware of the danger that he presents for them. Oh, Lee is back. Miraculous recovery.
Opportunity here, 3-on-1 again. Nice, fortunate touch by the Barbarians there. I'm not sure who it was.
I think that was Mitchell Scott with a well-timed stick there. That looked goal-bound to me.
Yeah, Steve Ford looked like he was offline there. Unforced turnover there by Briars. Cody guilty there of impatience. Again, Bannister's happy to keep the ball up that end of the field.
Yeah, look, that is the temptation as this game wears on. That some of their key players for the Barbarians, they just want to go and force the issue here. Nice pick up. Oh, unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Could have gone either way, that one, but Rob Sutton saw it as a hit to Briars.
Yeah, Lee Brady's back on the field.
So the injury's not much at all.
Bit of magic spray.
Yes.
The change rooms certainly stink of Denker Rub these days.
Good defence, Al Charlton again. Two outstanding players for Briars tonight have been, and we sort of predicted at the beginning it, but have been Adam Bannister and Alan Charlton have been the mainstay of this defensive effort.
Good tackle there. He's made some important interceptions this half, Mitchell Scott. Played quite well.
Good outlet pass as well.
Oh!
Alan Jamba. Just over 3 minutes to go. Alan Jamba's unfortunately just got under that ball. Should have been a goal.
Andrew Borg making the initial save, and unfortunately, the rebound going over the top. Well, we saw in the previous game that the trailing team pulled their keeper. It'll be interesting to see if the Barbarians do the same. Have they got a substitute so they can?
Yes, good question. The Barbarians have pushed 5 up here high, so obviously needing to get the draw urgently and pushing numbers forward.
And you can just see how closely.
Unfortunately, a turnover straight away into the midfield.
You can see how closely Cody Tribe is being marked there by Adam Bannister. They really do want to keep him off the ball. So inside the last 2 minutes here, and I think the Briars will definitely be looking to just run the clock down. No, I wouldn't be surprised to see people dribbling to the corner very soon.
Unfortunately, Harvey has turned that one over.
Unfortunate.
And Adam will just control this ball if he's bit of desperation in that pass.
Yeah. The right midfielder open.
Now, 50 odd seconds to go now, and I'm afraid, unless there's a miracle here, the Barbarians are going to.
Well, not for the first.
For the second time this year.
Well, not for the first time. It looks like I was wrong. I thought that the Briars would need another goal to win this game, but it looks like they're going to get away with it here.
Well,
and they've played very, very
I
well.
don't want to put the knocker on them, David, but we're down to 30 seconds, and
oh.
just over 10 seconds, and beautiful.
Great save there from Andrew Borg.
That'll win them the title.
Well, that really was an impressive performance from Briars. In particular, they had 3 key players as far as I was concerned. Adam Bannister in the middle, Alan Charlton at the back, and their goalkeeper Andrew Borg made some outstanding saves and really did keep them in it. They probably had a lot more work to do than the Barbarians goalkeeper, but and that can be the difference in what you want your keeper to do.
I think the Briars team played very well defensively in that second half, and it really didn't give too many opportunities. Probably the only real opportunity was Al Jamba, who had a ball fall down to him, and unfortunately it bounced just a little bit and he got under it. That was the only real opportunity the Barbarians had in that second half.
But a well-deserved win for Briars, and I'm sure their celebrations will be great tonight.
Yes, I think Barbarians. Unfortunately, I'm sure their better players couldn't be here tonight, but that's how it goes. You know, you've got to play with what you've got on the field, and Briars deserve to win well and truly.